Good morning. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing Deck the Hall with Boughs of Holly, number 235. Deck the hall with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us, fa la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus, fa la 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 la. Follow me in merry measure, fa la 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 la. While I tell of Yuletide treasure, fa la 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 la. Fast away the old year passes, fa la 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 la. Hail the new ye lads and lasses, fa la 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 la. Sing we joyous all together, fa la 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 la. Heedless of the wind and weather, fa la 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 la. Please be seated.
Good morning. I almost heard you there. Good morning.
Good morning.
There we go. And welcome to this Sunday service of the Eno River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship located in Durham, North Carolina. I'm the Reverend Jim Lewis, pronouns he or they, minister of lifespan, faith development, and pastoral care. And whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever your race or gender identity, whomever you love, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, we welcome you. If you're new to this community, and especially if you're visiting for the first or second time, I invite you to rise in body or spirit so that we can give all of you a warm ERUF welcome. Hello, welcome. Welcome back there. Excellent. And also, please introduce yourself in the chat box if you are in our virtual space, watching the live stream. Thank you for choosing to spend your Sunday morning with us in person and virtually. If you have children or youth with you, they are invited to attend our religious education classes when the children are sung out after the time for all ages in the service. Today, we'll all be going to the care building and doing some rapping for urban ministries and some dancing. Yes. Fellowship hour with tabling and coffee is in the fellowship hall directly after service. Yes, welcome back, coffee. Also, in the fellowship hall at that time, our coming-of-age youth are offering candles and soaps for sale to support their summer Boston trip. They have made these candles and soaps themselves. Please purchase. Also, on December 14th in the evening, that's this week on Wednesday, there will be a Jazz for the Holidays service right here featuring musician Shauna Tucker. So we hope you attend. Please see the ERUF website for info about upcoming programs and services. December is a very full month around here, and we hope to see you.
My name is Reverend Daniel Trollinger, Executive Minister here, and I want to let you know there's some changes in the service today. as you may have noticed, Reverend Jenny and I are not Reverend Brett, who is at home recuperating from the flu. We wish her a speedy recovery. So if you'll join me for just a moment and place your hands on your heart. We hold her in our hearts, and with a breath, open your hands and send a big burst of love and support for Reverend Brett.
And that is a wonderful reminder that as we are greeting each other and giving each other care and love right now, in December, while there are respiratory viruses out and about, maybe less of the handshaking, if you remember, more of the elbows or other types of greeting and love that might transmit less germs. For today's worship, the music is provided by the Eno River Singers right here. Wendy Looker is our cantor, and Kate Lewis is our pianist. And today's tech team is Michelle Sager and Sean Trimble, Stephen Daniel, our sound engineer. So now would be a great time to turn off or place your devices on worship mode. Let me double check. And just to make sure that we are ready to enter this time of worship. Let us now center ourselves. Let us begin worship.
Keep your lamps Our opening words this morning are by Jan Richardson, adapted from A Blessing Called Sanctuary. You hardly knew how hungry you were to be gathered in, to receive the welcome that invited you to enter entirely. Nothing of you found foreign or strange, nothing of your life that you were asked to leave behind or to carry in silence or in shame. Tentative steps have become settling in, leaning into the blessing that enfolds you, taking your place in the circle of an unimagined grace. You can begin to breathe again, to move without fear, to speak with abandon the words you carry in your bones that echo in your being.
This blessing is that it will not leave you alone, will not let you linger in safety and stasis. The time will come when this blessing will ask you to leave, not because it is tired of you, but because it desires of you, to become the sanctuary that you have found to speak your word into the world, to tell what you have heard with your own ears, seen with your own eyes, and known with your own heart. We light our chalice this morning. May the flame of our chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, remind you that you are beloved, precious child. Beautiful to behold, and you are welcome and more than welcome here. And also this morning we light candles on the third Sunday of Advent. We light the candle of hope, faith, and the candle of joy.
Please rise in body or spirit and join us for our next hymn, number 244, It Came Upon the Midnight Clear. We'll be singing verses 1, 2, and 4. It came upon the midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. Peace on the earth, good all goodwill, from heaven the news we bring. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. Still through the cloven skies they come, with peaceful wings unfurled, and still their heavenly music floats o'er all the weary world. Please turn and greet your neighbor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, somebody already knows what's about to happen. Come on down. Come on down. You know. Oh, you know too. I am inviting, as some of us already realize, so all of our smallest people and mediumest people, and even some of our tallest people, are people who identify with being a child at heart, even, to come on down for our time for all ages. I see some people on the horizon, see some people over here, I see some people already in front of me. Lovely mask designs as always. Oh, welcome, good to see some of you. I heard some of you singing earlier this morning. I think some of you are going to be singing later today. So today's service is all about wonder. And in my head, whenever I think about wonder, I think about like, whoa, like amazing stuff that's like bigger than I can even think about. It's like, whoa, mind blown. And our story today is called The Birthday of the World. And so in The Birthday of the World, it's going to talk about the idea of light being good for learning. Now, I think both darkness and light are good for learning, and this story is about light being good for learning. Like light that comes out of the lights. What makes a lot of light in the world? The sun, yep. We kind of agree on that. Do y'all agree on that too? Yeah, it's one of the biggest things we have that makes light, really. So this is a story. I actually think this story is fabulous. I'm very excited about it. When I was very small, my grandfather was my favorite person in the world. He called me by a special name, Neshumala, which means little beloved soul. And he knew many, many, many stories. When I turned 4, he gave me a very old story. It was called The Birthday of the World. It goes like this. In the beginning, there was only darkness, no light to be seen. And then a great ray of light ended the darkness, and the world was born, the world of 1,000,000 things. So many things. It was filled with light. Oh my gosh, this is my favorite page. Then something unexpected happened, and the light of the world broke into millions and millions of sparks of light. The sparks fell everywhere. They fell into everyone and everything. They fell into you and 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 you, the big you, and you too, and you. They fell into all the people, the boys, the girls, the kids, the moms and dads and parents, the grandmas, the grandpas and grandparents. They fell into all the animals, the dogs and the cats and the guinea pigs and the rabbits. They fell into the fish in the ocean and all the birds in the sky. They fell into all the planets and all the trees and into all the families. See those lights? See all the little lights everywhere and everyone? Yeah. And they are still there today, hidden in everyone and everything. This is why you were born. This is why I was born and everyone was born. We were all born because we can each find the spark of light that is hidden in everyone and everything. We can become its friend. We can feed it and help it grow bigger and shine more brightly. We can help it grow so bright that it becomes visible once again, one spark at a time. But Grandpa, I asked, if the sparks of light are hidden and we cannot see them, how can we find them? Ah, Nashumala, said my grandpa. We can't see them with our eyes. We can only see them with our hearts. Only your heart can see the spark of light that is hidden in everyone and everything. Now I got to ask you a question. How does your heart see something? Does your heart have eyes? No. How does a heart see something? Any ideas? Yeah? What was the last part? Being nice? Oh my gosh. Have you read this book before? Because on the next page, when we are kind to people, see, that's going on, right? Or listen to people, or believe in people, or love people, or help them realize their deepest dreams, we help their spark grow bigger and brighter until their light shines out and fills up the world again, one spark at a time. And when it does, your own spark grows bigger and shines brighter and brighter and brighter. So the world is not broken, Grandpa? The light is still there? My grandfather smiled fondly at me. Yes, Neshumala, the light is hidden, but the light is still there. It will always be there, and that changes everything. This is the story of the birthday of the world, and it was given to me. And now I give it to you, and 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 all of you, and all of you. It is not just my story. It is not just the author's story, or the author's grandpa's story. It is your story too. One spark at a time, we can change the world back to the way it was at the beginning, whole and filled with light. And with now we are going to continue our read and bring some more light. You all know where to go and help guide our newer people. Now in peace, go now.
we take up a special collection to support an organization in our community. We call this Generosity Sunday. Today, our Generosity Sunday recipient is Bike Durham, and Sean King is here to tell us about their good work.
Thank you. I am so encouraged to see this congregation work to inspire wonder in children and also among us. That was really enheartening. I have a little story about magic I want to share with you today. A couple weeks ago on a cheerful sunny morning at Eastway Elementary, our Bike Durham staff was ending a safety class, and our education manager asked the third grade class students what they were proud of for that day. One 8-year-old girl, we'll call her Jasmine for the purposes of this story, raised her hand and said, at last week's class, I wasn't good at balancing, but today I started to get it. The staff and classmates started to clap, and her smile grew and grew. That feeling of balancing between two wheels for children, that's magic. And for adults who haven't forgotten the feeling, it's a reminder of the harmony that exists between the forces in the world, between gravity and inertia. A certain kind of inertia brought me here today. I'm Sean King, and I'm on the board of Bike Durham, and we're a growing nonprofit celebrating 10 years of service to Durham. I'm grateful for the opportunity to share with you the work that we do for youth in Durham's public schools towards a vision for safe, affordable, and sustainable transportation for everyone in Durham. We are Durham's leading advocates for pedestrians, cyclists, and public transportation users. For children, our staff are helping teach safety to more than 800 children in 12 Durham public schools. Please speak to me afterwards. I'd love to hear from you and discuss more of the details. Now, in the coming weeks, Jasmine will overcome her fear of falling off her bike due to imbalance. But as time passes and she grows older and stronger, her fears will shift towards vehicles that are rushing dangerously close due to poor designed roads and a lack of protected bike lanes. And as she enters adulthood and begins to save money, and as Durham becomes more densely populated, her fears may shift again towards being late to work because of poorly supported public transportation. And for those of you here today, I invite you to imagine the whole person, and I hope you will join Bike Durham to create a safer and more accessible transportation future for children like Jasmine in our city. And I know you will join me if you can. I learned recently that Unitarian Universalist congregations across the country are among the most active communities to use cycling to promote wellness and sustainability. Through online writings that I've read recently, I've seen that Unitarian Universalists are leading discussions on the spiritual connection we can all have with peaceful, joyful transportation. I'll leave you with an abridged version of the Unitarian Universalist Association blessing called Blessings of the Bikes by Margaret Weiss. May your helmets stay clipped for the protection of your magnificent mind. May your tires stay full, and may your spirits be filled with hope and love today. May you feel the freedom of the bike, the freedom to journey together, and the freedom in connecting to your deeper self. I hope Jasmine hears that blessing someday. Thank you.
Today's reading comes from David P. Fessel and Karen Rivich. Why you need to protect yourself. Let me start that over. Why you need to protect your sense of wonder, especially now. University of Michigan psychologist Ethan Kross defines awe as the wonder we feel when we encounter something powerful that we can't easily explain. Often the things which bring us awe have an element of vastness and complexity. Think of a starry night sky, an act of great kindness, or the beauty of something small and intricate. Cultivating experiences of awe is especially important and helpful now as we renew our energy and make plans for a more hopeful future. That's because beyond physical effects, like a tingling or goosebumps and a lowered heart rate that's under stress, awe also affects us emotionally. One experimental group, when asked to draw pictures of themselves, literally drew themselves smaller in size after having an awe experience. Such an effect has been termed unselfing. This shift has big benefits. As you tap into something larger and your sense of self shrinks, so too do your mental chatter and worries. At the same time, your desire to connect with and help others increases. People who experience awe also report higher levels of overall life satisfaction and well-being. Recent research using fMRI has also shown that experiences of awe, such as watching an awe-inspiring video compared to a neutral or a pleasant video, decreases activity in the brain's default mode network. This is associated with self-focus and rumination, and the result is decreased mental chatter. Awe's benefits extend beyond stress relief, however. Research has shown that experiencing something bigger than us helps us to transcend our frame of reference by expanding our mental models and stimulating new ways of thinking. This can increase creativity and innovation, facilitate scientific thinking and ethical decision-making. It also helps us to build relationships. Through feeling awe frequently happens in solitude. It draws us out of ourselves and towards others and inspires pro-social behavior like generosity and compassion. A simple and powerful way we experience awe is to take an awe walk. Take 20 minutes to wander around and be curious. Observe the everyday beauty around you. Even in a familiar place like in your yard or in your neighborhood. This instruction helps people to notice others, as well as places and things they might typically rush past. A bee flitting from flower to flower. Afterwards, our participants report feeling inspired, calmer, and better able to focus. Even better, take an awe-seeking walk into a natural landscape. Research shows that walking in nature, compared to urban environments, has a greater positive effect on our mood and on our well-being. Nature is an immersive experience for growth and resilience. It can be a powerful source of wonder and awe. Nature's rhythms also remind us that we are part of the natural world and that we, too, are enduring. Take advantage of the wonders at your fingertips on the internet. Perhaps you are inspired by award-winning documentaries such as Free Solo or Planet Earth, or the recent Oscar winner, My Octopus Teacher. Let Amanda Gorman's The Hill We Climb give you goosebumps. Even the harmony and complexity of music can elevate and inspire awe. Create your own personal awe playlists of videos and music for when you're feeling stuck. Spend a few minutes being drawn into what you're seeing and hearing. You can also invite moments of awe by asking the simple question, what is beautiful here and now? So I'm also going to show you a mudra or hand gesture that can help you to experience awe. It's very simple. So we're just going to bring our hands, make kind of a shape like that. Kind of squeeze your thumb and your pinky finger together, and then just touch the base of your hands together. And hold it comfortably in front of your heart. And you're welcome to close your eyes. So this is called Ananta Mudra, and Ananta means infinity. It has a couple different benefits. It helps to create a connection between us and what's outside of us. It opens the heart to experiences of awe and joy, bliss and integration. And it helps to elevate the mind toward connection that's really inherent in all things. We just often forget that. So maybe think of the last time that you felt awe. It doesn't have to be something big, it can be something very simple. And then go ahead and relax your hands and just bring them together. And if we can just raise the hands up to the forehead, this just reminds us that we are intending to see awe and think about things that are awesome, awe-filled. And to your lips, that we can speak awe into the world. And to your heart, just reminding us that we can also try to feel awe into the world and into ourselves. And namaste.
I'm in awe of Kate's creativity. Please join me now in the spirit of meditation and prayer. Spirit of life, we gather together today to celebrate the gifts of this season, a time of wonder, a time of sharing, a time of hope. We celebrate the gift of song, carols and hymns, familiar and new, feeling the power of music to connect us to something deeper in ourselves. We celebrate fellowship, the gift of gathering heart and soul in this place, just as we are, to create beloved community. And we remember to slow down, be mindful of the light all around us, to move through this season with care, to pause, be present, and listen. We remember the light that calls us to put love into action with compassion, generosity, and grace. And as a people who care for one another, we lift up our joys and concerns. We hold in our hearts David Tucker, who requests prayers and good thoughts for his ailing father, Dr. Rexford Tucker, age 93. We hold in our hearts Mary Lacombe, who requests good thoughts for positive outcomes as she undergoes surgery on December 19th. We hold in our hearts Reverend Jacqueline Brett as she recovers from the flu. In our prayers, our worship, our words, our actions, we lift up our concerns for the world. We hold in our hearts all children everywhere. that they may know healing and support, both physical and spiritual. We hold in our hearts people all the world over who have been forgotten, who are marginalized, who are in crisis and may have lost hope. And we remember those in our own community here, in our own families who suffer, who mourn, and face the everyday difficulties of life. In a spirit of unity and compassion today, we lift up all of our prayers and blessings and honor this moment together in silence. And so it is. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be. This fall, the first week of October, I traveled out west to the Grand Teton National Park with my oldest daughter for a mountain backpacking adventure. With full packs, mats, permits, determination, we thought we were prepared for anything. That first night camping, we woke up to 3 inches of snow everywhere. Gorgeous, awe-inspiring, and unexpected. The weather required that we change our route a bit, but later in the journey, thick fog slowly gave way to sun as we moved through this canyon, revealing mountains bigger than the sky. Climbing up beyond the tree line to a remote glacial lake surrounded by a huge rock shelf that looked over on this pass into Idaho and this enormous giant basin of a valley. I felt like I was standing on the edge of two worlds, exhausted, exhilarated, blasted by the wind, chastened by the cold, and grateful for the strength to get there in the altitude. And in that moment, wonder and awe swept over me. A feeling of being small, yet empowered, completely isolated, yet connected to everywhere all at once. We all have unique life experiences of wonder and awe, small and large. Transcendent moments of deep connection where words just seem inadequate. What exactly is awe and wonder? From our reading this morning, psychologist Ethan Kross defines awe as the wonder we feel when we encounter something powerful that we can't easily explain. Well, in my story, I could explain what I was seeing, how I got there, my intention to step away from the ordinary patterns of daily living, to go behind the mountains to the other side. But I can't easily explain the feelings and the impact that this had on me. When asked, Albert Einstein defined his faith as a reverence for the creation of the universe and its laws and the mysteriousness of its nature. Mystery, awe. We're getting closer to a definition of sorts, but it also seems like there's a bit of magic involved somehow, like the place where the real and tangible meet the imaginal and ineffable. Cynthia Bourgeau, a mystic and theologian, describes the imaginal appearing in the confluence of the visible and invisible worlds, but still perceivable through the eyes of the heart. We heard about that in our children's story today. Wonder and awe are often words used to describe this space, or more accurately, the experience of this place that is both between, among, here and there, all at the same time. Regardless of where an experience lands on the awe continuum, from subtle to overwhelming, a quietly moving song or a mountaintop moment, the very experience of awe and wonder does something to us. It makes an impact. It catalyzes energy and awareness in the very core of our being. If we can pause and even practice pausing to notice the currents of this impact, to feel and expand into that which awe and wonder are connecting us to, then there is an opening for transformation. Repeatedly cultivating experiences of wonder and awe can then create a deeper impact, both on our body and our spirit, our inner light, such that our true nature is revealed. The imaginal realm invites us to attune our hearts and our awareness, not just for our own experience as such, but for the well-being of the world. When we know and appreciate deeper connection with life itself, we are changed. We are shaped, reoriented to show up differently in the way we relate to the world. The shadow parts of the ego fade in the light of this awe awareness as we are humbled by the experience of being touched and moved. We can feel our interconnectedness with life. And in turn, we become more inclined towards generosity and kindness. This internal alchemy of awe is not the result of spiritual wish fulfillment or some mystical musing. Science has actually researched these dynamics. We'll get there in a minute. First, let's find out how it works. What takes us from ordinary time and space to a place beyond the usual, to a state of wonder and awe? Since we are talking about the ineffable, the place beyond words, let's start with 3 F's. face. What direction are we facing? What is in front of us, or what do we put ourselves in front of? How does this then impact the choices that we make? In a study at the University of California, Berkeley, researchers staged an awe experiment at the juncture of a beautiful tree-lined path on campus. Then they made observations by comparing the frequency of helping behaviors on the variable if someone had been facing a building or the tree-lined path before they encountered someone who needed help, in this case an actor who dropped a bunch of pens and books. Curiously, those who had a brief experience of awe and sensing the beauty of nature were way more likely to stop and help. You can empirically test this for yourself today. Just take a moment after the service and look at the beautiful trees and plantings along the plaza before going into the fellowship hall, where the coming-of-age youth are selling candles and Bike Durham is here to answer our questions for Generosity Sunday. What we choose to face makes an impact on how we see. In her book, Wild, author Cheryl Strayed talks about her journey hiking the 2,000-mile Pacific Crest Trail. Inside of this story, she shares a quote from her mother that was a guiding inspiration for her trek. Her mom says, "Put yourself in the way of beauty." Now, this is a different kind of mantra for awareness, to literally face that which can connect us more deeply to life. We have the power to decide where we go and what we choose to put in front of us. This is a choice that we make on how we orient to anything and everything that we encounter. Now, we can grind into the routine with our head down, getting through the day, week, month, year, or we can choose, even in small ways, to place ourselves in the path of beauty. It doesn't have to be an epic hike or even involve travel at all. A few weeks ago, I was feeling a little stuck, and I just wanted to feel inspired. So I visited the North Carolina Museum of Art, which I haven't been to a museum in like 3 years, and with a friend, and I was pleasantly surprised at the recent makeover of the place. New collections, an expanded focus on non-Western art, contemporary art with a focus of artists of color, the beautiful new display for the Jewish art and sacred objects. It was inspiring and uplifting in a visceral way. Yet, connecting with awe is not just about wow moments. It can be a quiet moment. This comes down to present moment awareness and focus. The second F, and how does this work? What are we paying attention to? Are we on autopilot? Are we focused with intention in some way? The practice of mindfulness is a powerful way to train, invite the body, mind, spirit into a different state of awareness. Simply pay attention with intention. I remember one time teaching some children some simple mindfulness exercises. Take one single M&M and let it melt in your mouth. Bring all of your senses to the experience. Sight, smell, taste, touch, sound. Sound would be if you start chewing it before you can let it melt, right? You know, you can actually feel and taste the little M on the outside of that coating. This same exercise can be done with any food. Try eating an apple or an orange mindfully, slowly, sensing, experiencing it fully. Buddhist monk and author Thich Nhat Hanh shares, awareness is like the sun. When it shines on things, they are transformed. After a little practice, mindful awareness translates to other activities even outside of meditation and exercises. Noticing, sensing, feeling life unfolding with mindful intention can reshape the very experience of ordinary life. Now, brief, shameless public service announcement. The ministers at ERUF will be offering a spiritual practices retreat on Saturday, January 14th. So save the date if you're interested in exploring more. I will bring the M&Ms. In addition to placing ourselves on the path of beauty, faith, cultivating mindfulness, focus, another way to connect with awe and wonder brings us to our third F. Find. Finding our own unique star of wonder. A number of years ago, I attended a program at the Moorhead Planetarium in Chapel Hill called Star of Bethlehem. And they reviewed some of the theories about the wise sages from the East were noticing in the night sky that led them to travel to see a newborn king in Bethlehem. Was it a unique planetary conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn? A comet? A nova event? There are a lot of theories, but no clear answer. Today, I'm less interested in the actual astronomy and the finding your star as a powerful metaphor on the spiritual journey. What uplifts and inspires you? What is that thing that makes you move, travel to find something special, calls you to discover who you really are, invites you to reach out and share your gift with the world? We each have unique wiring that allows us to find meaning, a spark of joy, and expand that into a sense of awe and wonder. What helps you move out of the ordinary into the imaginal realm? What leads you to engage so fully in the ordinary that you slip into a state of wonder? Maybe it is music or movement, poetry or people, kindness or caring. Nature seems like an abundant source of inspiration. Sunrise, sunset, ocean, lake, river, tree, flower, forest, and so on. A clear night full of stars. Think of a time when you experienced this. What's the feeling? Could you see the Milky Way? Just be with that feeling. There's something truly magical in that starry sky at night. Painter Vincent van Gogh says, "For my part, I know nothing with any certainty, but the sight of the stars makes me dream." These days, there are new images of the cosmos transforming our understanding of the universe. Like the Hubble images, the new James Webb Telescope images are stunning and offer a different perspective on stars, galaxies, and more. We all have our own unique wiring on what inspires and uplifts our being. Wonder and awe, though, are not necessarily something we can dial up and order like a pizza. But we can practice simple ways to cultivate the inner muscles of mindfulness and intention that enable us to be open, ready, and available to enter the imaginal realm and find our star of wonder. Why? Why develop a greater awareness or even a practice to cultivate awe and wonder? Awe and wonder ignite something. Inspiration, imagination, creativity, connection. Connection that is something both within ourselves and beyond ourselves at the same time. I wonder what science has to say about this. It turns out quite a bit. So think with me for a minute about a time that you were the recipient of an act of kindness. How did that make you feel? Surprised? supported, cared for? How about the other side of the coin? Think of a time you offered a kindness. How did that make you feel? Stay with the feeling for just a moment. Notice, what do you know about acts of kindness, giving and receiving? Believe it or not, research has shown that acts of kindness, whether we are the giver, the receiver, or even just the observer, these acts activate the experience of awe. This is associated with an increase in the release of serotonin in the brain, and even has a positive effect on our overall physiology. In other words, we can impact the general well-being of our body, mind, and spirit just by simple acts of kindness. Awe. Several studies have explored this awe-altruism link, showing that in the presence of vast things calls forth a more modest, less narcissistic self, which enables greater kindness towards others. Research also indicates there is a measurable impact from the experience of wonder and awe on our physiology, our psychology, our spirituality, and our overall sense of self and place in the universe. Dasher Keltner and other researchers at UC Berkeley conducted a whole series of studies on awe. Their conclusions indicate that awe, more so than emotions like pride or amusement, leads people to cooperate, share resources, and sacrifice for others, all of which are requirements for our collective life. Brief experiences of awe redefine the self in terms of the collective and orient our actions towards the interest of others. In addition, momentary experiences of awe stimulate wonder and curiosity, we've talked of this, and are beneficial to the immune system. Now, we all could use a little bit of that right now. If watching a nature video or even gazing up at tall trees can activate a sense of awe within us, if we know this helps us feel connected with something within ourselves and beyond ourselves, if there are additional benefits linked to increased generosity, humility, better health, clearer thinking, why not cultivate more of this in our life? What would it take? What would it take for you to seek out the experiences that nurture your hunger for awe? Be it in music, nature, acts of kindness, connection with others. When awe and wonder flow through us, every fiber of our being, and ripple out into the world as acts of generosity and kindness, creating waves of connection within our own body and out into communities of which we are a part, then awe and wonder have the power to make a difference in the world. This is how the world awakens, one heart at a time. Through the eyes of the heart, we can learn to see and appreciate the immense beauty in the dance of life, and acknowledge the special gift of being able to share the journey together in community, which is its own kind of awesome. We need each other to dance, ripple, and share the wonder of this moment. May this season of light be filled with wonder and joy. In our comings and goings, may we remember to place ourselves in the way of beauty, to be mindful of the light around us everywhere, to find our star of wonder. And as a people of faith, hope, and love, together, let us create space for awe. Amen. Ashe. And blessed be. Earlier, we heard about the important work of Bike Durham. As the greeters come forward this morning to pass the plates, all contribution in excess of regular pledges will be given to Bike Durham as our Generosity Sunday offering. If you do not have cash or checks on hand, no worries. Go to eruff.org on your device and hit the Give Now button. Select Generosity Sunday in the drop-down arrow and go from there. If you need assistance with this, you can receive help in the office right after the service. We now continue with the offertory. We give thanks for the many gifts and acts of kindness and generosity that support the building and sustaining of this beloved community. Wendy will now lead us in hymn 255, There's a Star in the East.
Please rise and body your spirit. 255, There's a Star in the East. There's a star in the east on Christmas morn.
Our closing words today come from The Wonder Around Us All by Reverend Scott Taylor. Look, friends, to the sky, to the stars that dance like fireworks overhead, this tiny globe on which we travel. Look to the horizon, the tree line, the expanse of wide open fields, to this living, breathing earth that makes our living and breathing possible. Look at the faces that surround you, and notice what a wonder it is that we don't have to walk it alone. All of it is a miracle. All of it deserves our awe. May this light we now kindle and this time we share illuminate the astonishing preciousness of it all. Go in peace. Go in love.